Do you know what a currency reset is? I've just uploaded a new episode of my podcast with Agustin Cassis from Argentina. And it's not an episode for Bitcoiners per se. It's an episode for people who want to understand what happens when the monetary system resets. And that happens in many places around the world. Throughout history, let's just say in the past 100 years, it has happened in many, many places around the world. In Argentina alone, it has happened 5 times in the last 100 years, 6 times in the last 150 years. And it means that you go to sleep one night and you wake up the next and your money is reset. So it's either worth very little or it's like you're getting a note from the government, bring your money in and you're going to get a little bit of new money in return of it because we're resetting the money and we're giving you the new currency that we're creating. And the reason the governments do that is because, first of all, because they can, but secondly, because they have to, because the monetary system they're using is called fiat, and it's based on inflation. And when it goes out of control because of reckless fiscal spending, because the government basically can print as much money as they want, do whatever they want to do, even if it's irresponsible and they misallocate the money, they can still do it through the central bank, and they can then go to wars and, do a lot of things without really asking you. I mean, it looks like they're asking you because there are some rules and, like democracy, but it's bullshit. Like, they're not really asking you anything, so they're doing that. They're actually controlling you through the monetary system. And so when that goes out of control and the economy is really bad, like it has been in many places around the world in the past 100 years. So I was in Argentina, and Argentina has suffered from really bad economical situation for many times in the last century. Venezuela is the same. Lebanon, Egypt, Turkey, you name Africa, so many countries. Even Israel that I come from, the people think it's like a Western country, because it is a Western country, went through a reset in 1980 and 1986. So 2 resets in my lifetime, actually. And people forget about it. They don't want to think about it, and they actually don't want to understand the meaning of it, what it means that it happened. And so whenever it happens, people get hurt. Maybe it's not all the people. Maybe it's not so bad so that you don't think about it because your grandparents or parents didn't have it that bad. But think about Argentina for a second. When they had a financial reset, currency reset every 5-6 times in the last 150 years, it's almost once every generation. So there is no really generation in Argentina that did not live and experience life in a shitty economical situation. They have all suffered plague in some shape or form. And because of that, in my conversation with Agustin, sorry for the long introduction, but because of that, they are, the Argentinian people are amazing, and they're very strong people. They're very optimistic because they went through a lot of shit. But they are also very suspicious of the government, and they don't trust. They verify. And here we see a culture that is being built on cash. It's being built on trading between people, which is tolerable by the government because the government knows that they cannot stop it, but they also know that the economy is so shaky that they have to allow some level of tolerance for black markets. So we talk about all of that in this episode. He gives a great example of when you used to go to restaurants because of the hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is basically when your money becomes so worthless so fast that every day the exchange rates change and the value of your money changes every day. So it basically goes down in value until, you start seeing denominations that are very big of the currency, like notes of 100,000, a million. We have a billion, I think it's in Zimbabwe. Anyway, really bad shit. And I'm in Indonesia at the moment, in Bali. It's the same. You count here in hundreds of thousands and in millions. But when the when the economy goes into hyperinflation, things go out of control, the value changes so quickly that in restaurants, that's the example that Augustine is giving, they had to change the menus every week because the prices they wrote on the menus are out of date the next day or the next week. So they have to reprint the menu every time. So he gives the example that when you come into a restaurant and you see a menu that is that is torn, that is used, heavily used, you're happy because it's a good sign, because it means that the menu has not been changed in a long time. And that's what he's describing it for the past 2 years with Milei in power. The economy is getting better. Yes, it's not perfect. I was challenging him for how come you're such a rebel? How come you're such a Bitcoiner and you don't trust the government? And you're saying Argentinians don't trust the government, yet you love Milei so much. So go to the episode, listen to it, see the answer. It's very interesting. I think it's like that episode gave me a lesson in humbleness, to kind of understand that we can critique things from afar, because it's, Milei is definitely not the promise that he was supposed to be. He's not, I don't think he's an Austrian economist in any way. He gave a lot of promises that weren't made, but he is making progress. So he is making some good steps for the economy and for the people. And I think we just need to listen to the people that come from a certain country without judging, and be open to hear the nuances and why they describe, people like Agustin, for example, that it's much better than what it was, and they prefer that because their life were really, really hard before Milei and before the changes. So, go in with some humbleness and listen to the beautiful conversation we had. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, please leave me a comment. Obviously, a like and a subscribe and all that stuff. But a comment really helps the most, because that is the thing that shows the algorithm that people are engaging with my content, even while they are suppressing it on all the different platforms. So yeah, please go in, check it out, enjoy. Let me know what you thought. Love you.